Hello everybody. All right, you notice I'm real sweaty. I just went for like a half-hour bike ride. It's been 106 all day long, and finally we're starting to get to the low 90s. So I decided to go for my bike ride, and the sun's also going down, so the lighting is not going to be good. I hope you're all adult enough to deal with that. If not, complain and I can block you from my channel. All right. Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman Jr. I was asked to react to the training footage, the training montages. First of all, there is no guarantee that the training montages that you see are an accurate representation of what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. One thing that you see a lot of in YouTube is you see the best of something, the best 10 minutes of a top professional pro athlete compared to, a compilation of never competed professionally, way over the hill, out of shape martial artists, and saying, "Look, this is so much superior to this," right? In a lot of things. So let's be real. Let's be adults about this. Those training montages may not even be useful, but I can only react to what I see, and then I can try to speculate. Anything else beyond me recounting what I saw is pure speculation. And I can try to be logical about it, and I do try. All right. So yeah, on the surface, it looks like Hasim Rahman Jr. is kind of coasting, just not doing much, just not trying much, right? And it looks like Jake Paul is really putting his effort in. But I mean, I also see Rahman Jr. Pushing heavy weights. I see him, doing sparring. It seems like when he's sparring, he's unloading. And Jake Paul is unloading, right? Again, I actually don't like that. I think you should put your effort, the destructive power, into all the equipment you have. You should expend your speed and energy into the equipment and flow spar as much as possible to avoid damaging your body. If they're going to fight in August, well, we're pretty darn close, aren't we, right? But I don't run their training camps. Now, that being said, people routinely underestimate Jake Paul. People routinely say things about him that wind up not being true. There's a certain fire in Jake Paul's eyes. He's already made all the money he'll ever need to live opulently. He could party for the rest of his life, or, find yet another mansion and retire on it. He's a man on a mission. I think you people really misunderstand him, all the haters. He's really trying to do something and leave a legacy. And I can see it in his eyes, and it reads in his actions. I've known people who met him at events, interacted with him, and he's very gracious to people that can't really benefit him, that are fighters. He respects fighters. And, to me, he strikes me as a guy that puts his money where his mouth is. And when he got a bunch of money, a ton of money, he decided he was going to talk big and do big, and he got in the ring and risked his limb. All you guys talking about how washed up Tyron Woodley is, blah, blah, blah. My man, stand in front of him now and take 5 of his punches. Just say, "You're nothing. Let me take 5 of your punches right now." Yeah, didn't think so. All right. Now, Rahman Jr., let me pull this up just so I can look at it real quick. All right, Rahman Jr. The thing that I liked the least about what he did was his pad work. He was going through the motions, but it looked to me like his trainer wasn't making him replicate the moves that he needs to do in the ring. His shoulder roll was just a turn, and the trainer was aiming, the pad at his shoulder, not at his head, forcing him to avoid. So none of the angles looked right to me. And it even makes me think that what he's doing is he's trying to give Jake Paul a false sense of confidence, all right? Assuming that his trainer knows what he's doing and Rahman Jr. knows what he's doing. But I don't see the fire in his eyes. I don't see the fighter's fire in his eyes. Now, I did watch the press conference, bits of the press conference, and I'll tell you what I saw, honestly. Rahman Jr. yelled and cut off over Jake Paul as much as he could, kind of like Donald Trump did over Biden. Didn't help him. Hey, if you're a Donald Trump fan, I'm sorry, you've made a lot of bad life decisions. Unsubscribe from my channel. You're not going to like me. But to be honest with you, I've met people like that all my life. People who try to shout you out, crowd you out in what's supposed to be a discussion, in what's supposed to be adults talking in an adult room doing adult things. And I'm unimpressed. I've been unimpressed with these people all of my life. And there's a video, Rahman Jr. exposes Jake Paul. To me, that's Rahman Jr. being exposed. People like that tend to be mentally weak. They have a mental weakness. All that bluster and everything is covering up for perhaps a lack of belief in something, right? Now, Jake Paul, yeah, he's not one of the great pros of boxing, but I think everybody misinterprets what he's doing. He didn't go into boxing because he wants to be a great pro boxer. All right, that's not his passion. He pursued his passions and he made his money, became an influencer, and took up this cause. He hates Dana White. He likes fighters. He respects fighters. He probably took it up as a form of training and discovered, wow, this is tough stuff, and not everybody stays with it, Just even not getting in the ring and sparring, just doing all the exercise, the punching, the kicking, the push-ups. Most people don't last a month. And he decided that he was going to make a crusade, a jihad, whatever you want to call it, of, raising boxing, raising fighters, denigrating Dana, and denigrating UFC a little bit. And he's on that crusade, right? And he's probably out to prove to himself now that he can do these things. I do see the fire. I get a mental impression of a man on a mission who knows he hasn't accomplished it yet. And I think he's willing to die on that hill. I think if he fights Rahman Jr. and gets the pulp beat out of him, I think he'll be happy. He'll be like, I gave it what I gave it. I gave it my all. And I died on my shield. Come back with your shield or without it, the Spartan saying, right? He's willing to die on this hill. Rahman Jr., he's trying to make some cash. He's trying to get in the spotlight. And again, maybe he wants to shut up Jake Paul. But honestly, coming close, I can't whisper this because you won't hear it. I think deep down inside, he really respects Jake Paul. I think deep down inside, he's thinking, this guy could have stopped this a while ago, right? And every time he fought someone, he upped the level, and now he's going to me, and Rahman Jr. wouldn't be who he was if he didn't think, well, I'm definitely better than anybody he's fought. I'm younger, I'm more current, I've got a better record. I'm gonna almost regret beating this guy. That's what I think Rahman Jr. thinks. And I think Jake Paul is like, I'm gonna take you or die trying. That's what I feel. That's what I see. All the haters hate. I'm only gonna hate you if you're hateful. All right, everybody. That's my opinion. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.